This storm just took a very serious turn, everybody. Not just strong tornadoes, chances for a few strong tornadoes, very large hail, very strong winds, hurricane force wind gusts or greater. And this is going on not only for today, also for tomorrow. Plus, this has grown into Friday towards the northeast, even a chance for a tornado, everybody. Plus, we have an outlook in the Gulf now for what the remnants of Christina is going to do. But you can already see the difference with the dry air on this tropical wave going through the Western Caribbean. It has greatly been reduced. Still, all this is going to come together and bring a lot of tropical moisture. Showing it'll bring right along the Gulf Coast. But we have new updates on what's going on with the severe weather as well. So I'm going to show you all the latest information in this video right now. Now, yesterday we did get 4 tornado reports. South Dakota, North Dakota, and 2 over in Michigan. Plus, we had over 230 wind gust reports, everybody. Power outages has gotten a little bit better so far, over 116,000 without power, 50,000 in Minnesota, 16,000 in Kansas, 7,000 in Ohio, even 6,000 over here in Wisconsin. And this is going to strengthen up for today. So we have some new outlooks, so let's go through this. You can see the enhanced feature got a lot bigger as well, and we have this going all the way towards northeast for today. Now our tornado threat is chances for a few strong tornadoes, especially in this black hashed area of significant severe. So here's your cities and states at risk for a potential tornado for today. Also the winds, you can see the significant severe where you can get up to 75 miles per hour wind gusts, up to 80 or greater in this red area as well. So here's your cities and states at risk for the high winds for today. And the hail threat, we have significant severe, at least 2 inches in diameter. And this has greatly grown, everybody. So here's your cities and states at risk for the hail threat for today. And you can see here from National Weather Service, a few strong tornadoes and damaging wind gusts over 75 miles per hour are expected this afternoon and evening across parts of the upper Mississippi Valley and Midwest. Showing in the new information that as we go through this early afternoon, we're going to start getting some storms building up for southern Iowa into northwestern Wisconsin, northwestern Minnesota. But as we go around 2 and 3 o'clock, you can see with your significant tornado perimeters, this is where everything heightens up for your chance for your tornado as you go through the evening. So as you look at these cells forming up through the evening, bring chances maybe for a tornado over here through southwestern Wisconsin, northwestern Illinois as it comes from eastern Iowa. We also see the damaging winds coming through for northern Wisconsin. And as you go through the evening, you see that congeals up towards straight line damaging winds. Also get some supercells from eastern Iowa still through northwestern Wisconsin and some damaging winds moving through northern Illinois as we go through the evening all the way towards 6, 7 o'clock, going towards Michigan now. And now everything's turning towards the linear events. A lot of damaging winds, multiple lines still forming up. Showing we have 2 or 3 lines of storms coming. So after this first line, we got the second one coming through as we go through later tonight. Then we'll have another one coming through for tomorrow. Showing as we go by 8 and 9 o'clock, bring a lot of chances for damaging winds from Iowa into Wisconsin, also here from northern Missouri into western Illinois. And you cannot rule out an embedded cell in there, chances for a tornado. As you go towards 9 and 10 o'clock, still bring chances for winds and hail. Now as you go through 8 and 9 o'clock tonight, this is where you still have chances for straight line damaging winds for Wisconsin, Illinois, also northern Missouri going to eastern Iowa. But once you go towards 10 and 11 o'clock, you see the storms weaken down. Still bringing some winds with this one right here for Wisconsin, also right here for Illinois. But you can see with your significant tornado perimeters, that weakens down greatly once you hit around 9 and 10 o'clock. This is where you're just getting regular thunderstorms coming across, bringing winds over here for Illinois going through Indiana. You also get some storms building up from Ohio going towards western Pennsylvania. And then right before that, you get some strong storms moving across from Maryland going towards eastern Pennsylvania and the Delmarva as you go through the early afternoon. But this is where it builds up again for tomorrow. And you can see with your significant tornado perimeters, this really factors up once it comes through from Nebraska, northern Missouri, into Iowa, into northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin for tomorrow night. The highest scale you can have right there, the highest probability of a chance for a tornado. This is where we can get a long track tornado, unfortunately. Showing as we go through for tomorrow, we're going to get some straight line winds moving through with that first cluster through tomorrow morning, through Iowa, through southern Wisconsin. But once we go through the evening, look how this picks up. Now that brings those storms through northern Wisconsin, and you start getting that straight line damage and wind event, that big Bowen line feature as you go through for tomorrow night. And this is going to bring chances for damage and winds. But right here in front of it, right where you get a first line, right in front of this linear event, this is where you can get spun up to a quick chance for a tornado as that comes through for the evening, building up what's in front of it. So that's a threat for tomorrow for Illinois. And then you see as you go through for tomorrow evening, it goes across from Michigan and it stretches further down Illinois into Missouri, into northern Arkansas as well. Plus, as we go through for tomorrow, there's going to be more storms building up from West Virginia, going across Pennsylvania, across Maryland, a little bit for New England as well, over here for Massachusetts and Connecticut, and it goes across the Delmarva again. Showing a little bit weaker than what you're going to get for today, but we have multiple days of storms, plus what's happening for Friday. Showing as these storms come through for this evening, this is going to bring a lot of damage and winds with it, plus chances for strong tornadoes up here as that grows up for northwestern Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota, then it comes through for northern Illinois into Wisconsin again as we go all the way towards later on tonight, showing the second round coming around 10 o'clock towards midnight. Now look at the winds as that comes through for later on this evening. You see it brings that 50, 60 to 70 miles per hour wind gusts all the way towards later tonight, all the way towards 11 p.m. And those storms coming from Ohio to western Pennsylvania, bringing 50, maybe even 60 miles per hour wind gusts with those as well. But look at this large area, everybody, of 50, 60, even 70. 70 is in the brown miles per hour wind gusts. A lot of winds are coming through. So just make sure you're prepared for possible power outages as well. So for tomorrow, you see it has grown into that slight risk for tomorrow as well. And we have the enhanced feature and our chances for tornadoes. So we do have a 2% for those cells going across eastern Pennsylvania, across New Jersey. So be aware of that. Plus significant severe chances for a strong tornado in this black hatched area. So here's your cities and states at risk for a tornado threat for tomorrow, for Thursday, and the wind threat as well. You see, we also have a slight risk for the northeast, but we also have the significant severe in this black hatched area, and we have this 45%. This is where you can have hurricane force wind gusts up to 75 miles per hour wind gusts or greater in this 45% area. So here's your cities and states at risk for the high wind threat for tomorrow, for Thursday, and the hail threat as well. You do have a greater chance over here in the northeast than you had yesterday, but we also have the significant severe where you could get 2 inches in diameter. So here's your cities and states at risk for the hail threat for tomorrow. Showing once again, this will be for strong tornadoes and destructive winds, 75 miles per hour or greater, everybody. Also for Friday, we have that 5% and we have that 15% for severe weather. Not only chances for tornadoes, but this is chances for damage and winds and hail mostly. So here's your cities and states at risk for the severe weather for Friday. And when you look at Colorado State University, showing that could grow as well, all the way down here towards Mid-Atlantic, and we could see an upgrade. Plus, we have the outlook and the Gulf from the Bay of Campeche, shown by National Hurricane Center, 0% in the next 48 hours, 10% in the next 7 days, but showing all this more likely will still move inland over eastern Mexico as we go over this weekend. And you can see with the Euro, chances for just a tropical depression has a pretty good chance, goes all the way up towards that 50% chance where you could get that tropical depression real quick right here in the Bay of Campeche, but then pulling towards the west with all that tropical moisture. Showing no chance of formation, but we still need to watch it, everybody, because when we have these fronts like this, it could easily produce more thunderstorms, more growth on this storm system if it's still in the Gulf by then. Latest information still shows that we have this big upper level high that is swinging everything towards the west. And you can see this before it congeals together, it gets shoved towards the west. But then that second group just stays there while it gets suppressed by the cold front. So that's what we need to watch for. Then we have this expanding high pressure that comes through and just smushes everything towards the west. Showing with the automatic tropical cyclone forecast, you can see that in 48 hours, this actually shifts more to a northern kick, going right over here by Mexico, by the Yucatan. Then it makes that sharp westward push because of that upper level high. Now, when you look with the difference with the AI model, the AI model is showing not only will it take that westward push, but it will stay right along that Gulf Coast right there, bringing a lot of tropical moisture. And you can see this best with your precipitable waters as this goes through for Friday into Saturday. Here comes all that tropical moisture towards Mexico, towards Texas as you go from Saturday into Sunday. Then we get that front coming through and it messes with that other wave coming through as well. Showing this wave will be weak also because of the dry air from the dust moving through, everybody. And you can see the same thing with the Euro as well, pushing all that tropical moisture from the Yucatan towards northern Mexico, southern Texas as we go by Saturday. And then as that front hits it as we go through for next week, bringing that front and the precipitation back across the southeast. But we still have all this dust pushing everything towards the west. So there's no way for that to come back and intensify to a storm or hurricane or any of that in the Gulf. Showing the rainfall coming with the severe weather threat. And once we go into the weekend, it is bringing all that precipitation as we're getting that front coming down, bringing storms with that as well. And by the time we get towards Tuesday and on, this is where it brings that across from Texas towards the southeast. Showing this will build up from Texas all the way from Oklahoma, Kansas. But look at this wide area of anywhere from 2 to 3 or more inches of rainfall. This front is going to bring a lot of storms. Remember, we have the cold pool in, we have the cold air above. And this is going to intensify these storms, and it's going to bring a lot of storms next week with this front. And I will update that in another video. That way you know what is coming around the corner. This is just a quick update for today. What the changes are with the severe weather and what is this blob that just built up in the Gulf. Thank you for your time, everybody. Hope you have a very great day today. I will see you this afternoon for another update, God willing. I am in these storms today. I'm right in these storms today. So we'll see how that goes. Now, these are going to be some very powerful storms for this evening. So I want to do a prayer for protection for everyone that is in the path, everybody. Psalm 91, 1 through 5. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. Amen. Thank you for your time. And remember, above all things, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope He keeps you safe every single day of your life. You and everyone that is around you. And forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you for the update.